What is happening, YouTube? This is Immortal Coil, your future minister of whiskey mysticism. Revolution is my name. Coming at you with the Savage Perspective, the show that sounds like a big fat dick slapping the table, tastes like a bourbon, and feels like a gentle caress. With me tonight is my good buddy Shellback TJC. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm savage. Yeah.
Savage. Right on, man. Well, it's good to see you. For those of you out there in listening land, Shellback TJC is one of the few YouTubers that I've ever actually met in real life. Yeah, if you go back far enough on the timeline, we actually attended a Emerald City Comic-Con 2 years ago, before the wretched beer bug happened.
Yeah. Well, it was last year. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty crazy, but you know, a lot can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange.
See, they rescheduled that for I don't know, coming up here pretty soon, but who knows if it's actually going to happen, because things, they kind of close things back down a little bit. So
yeah. Well, hang on a sec. It sounds like Tommy is saying the first link is having some issues. So funny, Tommy. Our first link didn't work for Shellback either.
Yeah.
So why don't you do me a favor? If
this one was the third.
That one was the third. So I'm thinking we should probably retweet the stream. So because it sounded like there were some people who wanted to see us. So since there's nobody listening,
I mean, the YouTube, is he talking about the YouTube link, or
I'm thinking so. Yeah. So Tommy said he redropped the link. I know, Random Brad. What the fuck? YouTube is having some hiccups. So I'm gonna go ahead and retweet this this link. If you guys in the chat can do the same for me, I'd appreciate it.
The one that came up on my notifications worked just fine. So
okay, seems link was not valid. YT. Here's the real one. All right. It's crazy how these things tend to work out. Okay. Well, I'm sure this will iron itself out. But you know, whether you're joining us now or on the replay, you know, thank the electronic gods. We got 3 people listening to us live at the moment. Go ahead and retweet the actual stream. Random Brad Creator, my faithful savage. This motherfucker, liquor fears him, and women want to breed with him. So go ahead and check out Random Brad Creator. And as always, we have Tommy, the hardest working mod in the Fandom Menace. Currently mod to over 10 billion channels, and he never misses a stream. Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. Well, I'd like to go ahead and raise a toast to the chat. Whatever you're drinking, raise it high. Salud. Ooh, there we go. We got Parrot Head hailing the Shellback. Is this one of your acquaintances?
What's that?
Oh, Parrot Head. He's saying, "What up, man?"
Oh, yeah.
You got your fans. You got your cheerleading squad.
Yeah, he likes to. He likes to send me pictures of scantily clad women and whatnot in my in my DMs. So
Well, there is nothing wrong with that.
He's a good bird. He's a good bird.
Well, I didn't realize that terrapins and birds got along that well.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes, you know, especially down there in the tropics, you know, sometimes a parrot is just, you know, he's a little tired, you know, and you know, he wants to make that one last island hop, you know, and he's on a time crunch, so you know, it's like they come down to the beach, you know, and they're like, "Yo, what up, turtle?" And we're like, "Hey, you know, not a lot." And he's like, "Hey, you wouldn't happen to be going over to that island over there, would you?" And I'm like, "Oh, actually, a matter of fact, I am." "Oh, you know, can I hitch a ride?" "Yeah, sure." You know, and so.
Well, rumor has it, the world is carried on the back of a giant turtle. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and for those Pirates of the Caribbean fans out there, sea turtles did help Captain Jack escape. So.
And they actually, in fact, helped find Nemo. So.
Right.
Hail sea turtles, in whatever form that
totally
they have.
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I freaking love. I love that character. You know?
Oh, for sure.
Righteous.
Well, shit. How many subs do you have, Shell? And what do you have coming up on your channel?
Well, I think I'm sitting at like 336 at the moment.
Nice.
So I mean, you know, I could, which I'm kind of planning on it, but I don't have like a definite date for a celebration stream. But technically, I do, you know, feel warm and fuzzy enough in my count to actually hold a 300 celebration stream, but I just don't know when I'm going to do it yet.
Hey, that sounds awesome, man. Just keep us posted. And it seems like, you know, I'm watching this thing in live time because Tommy keeps on popping in and saying, "Hey, I'm having to restart it and come back in for the 6th, 7th time." And from my side, I keep on seeing it flip back and forth between 5 viewers to 1 viewer to 0 viewers back to 5 again. So I don't know what's going on. There is some kind of strangeness about on YouTube this August 12th.
Well, as far as you're talking about on YouTube, right? The YouTube.
Well, and that's what I seem to be getting from the chat, because I see the numbers bounce between 5 viewers, 1 viewer, no viewers. I got 4 at the moment. And I know people come and go and things happen and this and that. Some people just want to say hi, but it seems like there's something funky about
my YouTube tab is I mean, I'm holding steady at 4 viewers.
Okay.
So, yeah,
well, we'll just
it looks normal to me.
Yeah, well, we'll just hope that it's not you know, exactly technical difficulties. Yeah, it's very strange stuff, man. Do not know what's going on. Well, anyway, we'll just go ahead and carry on with the show, you know.
I get according to Brad, the aliens are fucking with us.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. I've reason to be fucked with by aliens.
Yeah, I know. Right? I'm actually wishing they'd come back and take out this damn anal probe.
It tends to get uncomfortable. Well, I have 6 viewers at the moment, so we'll go ahead and go with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm showing. 6 people.
Yeah, and indeed, Tommy, they hate on guinea pigs, especially that particular guinea pig.
Right.
You know, it's hard to guinea pig in life these days.
Right.
You want to sit there and fill your cheek pouch and gnaw down your incisors, and then shit fucking happens. Yeah.
I mean, like they say in the hood, guinea pigging ain't easy.
The most hated guinea pig on YouTube, the most controversial guinea pig. And yeah, you know, it's just terrible. Well, you know, so I tend to try to want to start these shows with like a hopeful or inspiring, or you know, just something to take you out of your headspace. You know, the first thing that I saw this week in my personal news cycle was this: a Mars map with water, and how terraforming could change the face of a planet. So this is a map of what Mars could look like with ocean. All the high valleys and mountains and you know, the hugest volcanoes and all that kind of stuff are represented in this map. It was created by this gentleman, Idita Raj Bhattarati, a Nepal-based civil engineering student currently studying for his bachelor's degree at I can't pronounce it university, and I shouldn't try because you know, if I try to, I'm probably going to get heckled by the people who George R. R. Martin was hosting.
I would venture a guess at Tribuan.
Okay, Tribuan. We'll go with that. But this is an interesting image. So this is them kind of flipping it to 3D perspectives. It looks like it's sort of blinking. Okay, it looks like it's coming through all right for you guys, but it's blinking on my side. And this is kind of like a drone eye view. You can see a second part of a landmass ending with Olympus Mons, the tallest volcano. Here's sort of like a Death Star trench with a, what is this, a space drone? Yeah, cool stuff. So again, just different types of perspectives on that. So the rumor has it, Shellback, that there was once water on Mars, and perhaps it was teeming with life. Do you find that likely, or is this just humans sort of imagining our next step forward in the solar system?
I mean, I'm definitely willing to entertain the idea. I mean, it's the cool, you know, the cool factor of it is definitely there. You know, you know, I mean, I think it'd be cool if they could actually prove, you know, that, you know, people used to, you know, or it used to be a livable planet, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But and which I mean, I don't know that if we have the technology as of yet, but I mean, I definitely think at some point in the future, you know, we could have, you know, the technology to, you know, terraform it or whatever back to being livable again. But,
well, I agree. You know, like policy has it that we're going to return to the moon, and I imagine that they're going to build some sort of biodome structure where we can have like a lunar station, and then from there, perhaps branch out to Mars. Now, I think a fully terraformed Mars with oceans and greenery and an oxygen atmosphere is definitely far off in the future. But just to see something like this gives me hope in that same way that, you know, like when I used to watch Star Trek.
Yeah.
You know, and not even the movie with the Genesis device, but you know, just that idea that we can get out there and do something and get off this rock and get away from these politics and these people squeaking in our ear constantly.
Yeah.
You know, toss me in the sky and let me go.
Well, see, here's the deal. You know, it's like, you know, as soon as they say, you know, we're going to Mars, and you know, like one of the people, you know, if one of the people is named Douglas Quaid, it's on. You know, it's on.
Somewhere out there is the three-breasted woman,
right?
Waiting to welcome us all.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I'd, you know, because this conversation, you know, this type, you know, would you go to Mars came up on another stream, you know, and I was like, totally, you know, I was like, I definitely want to go to Mars and work at work at a bar called The Last Resort, you know, with a, you know, with a midget named Tinkerbell. Oh, I'm sorry, a little person.
There you go.
Yeah.
And this might be a good time to stress that the savage perspective is not for children. So if you have young children listening, please put them away before they hear too many fuck words. It's all three tits and fuck words around here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Fair warning.
Yeah, three tits and midgets. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a website for that.
Right.
So
I'm sure there is.
Yeah. You know, so I was really impressed by this thing, and as awestruck as I was by this, the next thing that I saw really bothered me. This thing right here, the Guardian, actually bothers me quite a bit. But the idea is that NASA is to change harmful and insensitive planet and galaxy nicknames, right? Do you know by looking what nebula this is, Showback?
No,
Without
I don't
reading
know.
the caption?
To me, it looks like it's something you'd see underneath of a microscope.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I don't know.
The caption here says Planetary Nebula NGC 2392 was known as the Eskimo Nebula. Okay. So the idea being the you can see the stellar mass in the center, and then where the outer shell has exploded away, the inner portion of that looked to be a face, and then the outer shell looked to be like the fur-lined hoodie.
Yeah, parka. Yeah, whatever.
Parka.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, according to SJWs, such labeling is harmful and insensitive. Yeah. When you know, if you're a fan of stargazing, if you don't want to call it the Eskimo Nebula, you can go by its NGC catalog number. So it's the New Galactic Catalog. There's a couple of different indexing methods for stellar phenomenon, and the NGC is probably the newest one. There's plenty of others. NASA has signaled it is joining the social justice movement by changing unofficial and potentially contentious names used by the scientific community for distant cosmic objects and systems such as planets, galaxies, and nebulae. In a statement last week, the space agency says that as the, quote, community works to identify and address systemic discrimination and inequality in all aspects of the field, it has become clear that certain cosmic nicknames are not only insensitive, but can be actively harmful, end quote. NASA added that it is, quote, examining its use of unofficial terminology for cosmic objects, as part of its commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion.
And it's harmful. It's harmful how?
Because people on Earth are too fucking sensitive. And this is what I wonder. So eventually we're going to make contact with other intelligent species. And we're going to say, yeah, we used to call that the Eskimo Nebula, but now we're calling it the Inuit, indigenous, oppressed by white people nebula. And the alien is going to be like, what now?
Right, yeah.
But what happens if we fail to recognize what they call it on Clack 27? Oh, we don't call it that at all. We call it, the piss and vinegar nebula. Why don't people on Earth adopt that? That's insensitive to us.
Yeah.
Or are we going to go to Clack 27 and be like, there's not enough diversity. I only see purple people here. What'd you do with all your black people? Clack 2s.
Right, yeah. Yeah, where are all the grays? Huh? Where are the grays?
Yeah. You stash them somewhere in thousands of years of evolution. Purple's the only thing you could come up with. We have at least 175 distinct genders on our planet.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the thing is, it's like they're all these people are, as we like to say, bending the knee to a percentage of the population that is like very, very, very small. So I don't know. It's and the thing is, it's like the people who discover these stars and nebulas and all these space phenomenon, and they're the ones that get to name it, right? It's like, if you discover a new star or a or a meteor or whatever flying through space, you get to name it, and the person that was like, well, I want to name it the Eskimo Nebula because it reminds me of an Eskimo. If
Right.
if that person was racist or prejudiced or whatever ist against that group of people, okay, I don't even they wouldn't have named it that, granted, they and I'm trying to think of the actual origins of the Eskimo name or word or whatever, but it's, I think it's basically, like a term used for more than one more than one tribe or whatever, like down here in the lower 48s, we say, or at least we used to say American Indian or whatever, which included all the tribes, I mean, Cherokee, Blackfoot, Sioux, and then, which, there's an example right there, the Sioux, there's, depending on who you ask, you're like, oh, so, you're a Sioux. And they're like, well, I'm a Lakota or I'm a Dakota, it's like, so, I mean, it's just I think it, at least in concept, I don't know. I mean, I could be talking out of my ass here, but, the word Eskimo is basically just like a general term for natives of Alaska, you know, and
Sure.
so you know it's not, you know, just because a certain person came up with the name doesn't mean that it's racist. Okay, so
Well, okay. So other problematic astronomical phenomenon includes the Siamese twins galaxy, which are comprised of NGCs 4567 and 4568, respectively.
Okay.
The nicknames and terms have historical or cultural connotations that are objectionable or unwelcoming, and science depends on diverse contributions. In the future, NASA says it will only use the official International Astronomical Union designations in cases where nicknames are inappropriate. Cosmic objects such as Bernard 33, nicknamed the Horsehead Nebula, would retain their names. Because until we have somebody who identifies as a horsehead, Bernard 23 is safe.
Until Mr. Ed freaking gallops up and says, that offends me.
Hello, you are a bigot. What da 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 da? What da 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 da?
Wow.
Okay.
And the thing is, it was Siamese, okay, because at once upon a time that particular part of the world was known as Siam.
Yeah,
okay?
it's now called Laos, but it used to be called Siam.
And freaking a Siamese twin, okay, yeah, is now, you know, what is that, formally or whatever, known as a conjoined twin, okay?
Yeah.
But and I'm guessing that the term Siamese twin came about because the first, or at least one of the first, conjoined twins was found in Siam.
Yes.
So I don't know. It's
so there you go.
Well, these people are just reaching for shit. They're just reaching. You know, it's
definitely. Well, and then we also see down here in this last paragraph, it was confirmed that a new planet named Uranus is actually going to be, the name is going to be changed to Planet Asshole to protect the insensitive snowflakes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm you can kind of see where that article's going, but
yeah,
you know, it's just all these agencies are kowtowing to social pressure. And whereas you know, so it's kind of like to bring it home for you, sir. If we no longer called it a Galapagos tortoise and called it like the giant island tortoise instead, so as not to offend fat people from the Galapagos, you know, because who knows, that might be an insensitive name.
Yeah.
What do you think, sir?
Yeah, I don't know. It's which I don't know. Hopefully we're on the backside of all this offensive, you know, SJW cancel culture type of stuff. Because
I think it's definitely waning. I know, like, as a reaction, it intensified shortly after the 2016 elections. Now we have some elections in the States again coming up here in November.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that bodes for the far left outcry, depending on what happens. But gonna go ahead and say hail to the chat. We got 6 people watching. Tommy says Quaid. We love that movie. Hail,
Open
Tommy.
your mind.
Yes, and all 3 of your breasts. And
yeah.
My favorite line, I think, is Coagan, you've got to give those people air.
Yeah.
Love that shit. We got AFK Bard coming in. Hail
Yeah.
AFK Bard.
AFK.
Appreciate you showing up, sir. Welcome to the Savage perspective. I hope you enjoy your stay here. Go ahead and have a look around. Let us know what you think. And then let's see. We have Random Brad piping in with don't Google Eskimo, meaning, wow, it is now an offensive word. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas it used to be a descriptor, people are now professionally offended on behalf of certain adjectives. Yes. Yes. And then, of course, Tommy again. Mr. Horse, do you like that name? Mr. Horse. No, sir. Didn't like it. Don't like it at all. That's some Ren and Stimpy for you guys. Bringing it back. That is some cool shit. I love random references, and especially if they're pop culture, that kind of shit from our youth.
Yeah. I didn't watch Ren and Stimpy a whole lot, but
what the hell, Sean? Well, like the first season was golden. The guy who created it, his name was John Crickfalusi, something like that. He's always credited by John K. But he invented it and he wrote the first, 10, 15 episodes. But then as it happens quite a bit in Hollywood, he lost control of his product. So they took the property and then watered it down, and they fired him from his own show. And they got the guy who did Stimpy's voice to do Ren's voice, and they just kind of did whatever. So Tommy, Ren and Stimpy was great. I encourage you guys to flood Shellback's inbox, his DMs with Ren and Stimpy clips, so that he can go ahead and unfuck himself. And
I know all about the song.
Oh yeah,
happy joy joy, happy joy joy, happy joy joy.
Yes, yeah. And then we got you want to steal my beloved ice cream bar?
Yeah,
I have had this ice cream bar since I was a child.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that stuff.
Oh,
and, then,
and so
it's log. It's big. It's heavy. It's wood, and it's better than bad. It's good.
According to today's standards, was oh shit. Okay, refresh my memory. Ren is the
He's the Chihuahua.
Okay, yeah. All right.
An asthma hound Chihuahua, according to.
So Ren was Ren voiced by a.
He was voiced by John Kay, the series creator.
So he wasn't voiced by a Mexican American.
No, and actually these days
canceling.
You are so correct, sir. His name was like Crickfalusi, which is clearly Eastern European, maybe. So he does not possess the melanin required to portray a Mexican origin dog, a fictitious dog who can talk. But when the fictitious dog talks, he has an accent.
Well, that's like hold on a second. That's like another one of my favorite cartoon characters. What? I was canceled because of a white guy was my voice too. That's nasty.
Cleveland, what happened to you?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, buddy. It's the history eraser button, you fool. The jolly candy-like button. Yes.
But yeah, no, I mean, and dude, I'd be like, I don't have Netflix or anything. I know. Yes, I am one of the few people on earth that doesn't have Netflix.
No Netflix,
but
no chill.
Sad. Ren and Stimpy is probably one of those things where, if I had the, ability to do some binge watching, I might do it. It's like another one that is like very popular with people that I have never really seen. Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah, I missed out on that one too.
And
I know a lot of people talk about it, but
well, see, one of the reasons why I want to try and like start watching some Rick and Morty is because the new Star Trek show, Lower Decks, okay,
yeah,
has been compared or whatever. People have mentioned, that it had like a Rick and Morty feel to it or whatever.
like the art style and the writing.
Sure. So I mean, I'd kind of like to check out some Rick and Morty to see, and which I recently did a stream with Wes Moody of Wes Moody Webcast. And we talked about that the first episode of Lower Decks, and I'm like, the action, quote unquote action parts of it, I was down with, right? But the humor does not work for Star Trek. Okay, it just doesn't. But from what I've been told, it is a quote unquote Rick and Morty type humor. So,
well, that's what I hear. I haven't had a chance to watch the show myself because I do not subscribe to CBS All Access. But I've seen a couple of reviews. Like I saw Doomcock's and Mecha Random's reviews on it, and they are as much or possibly more Star Trek geeks as we are. So I guess somehow I will procure it. I'm not going to pay for it, but I'm pretty resourceful. We'll see. But it looks like we got Random Brad coming in and referencing your tuck and roll appearance, Sheldon.
Yeah.
Now Snowdub's a really good friend of mine. So what exactly is he referring to? Was he
I don't know.
The whole thing was pretty much fuckery from start to finish, wasn't it?
I don't know. I missed. I wasn't able to get onto the panel while Matt Jarbo was on there. But yeah, he was, and because I was voting for him to get rolled, right? And I said it, I said it a few times in a row, right? And he's like, well, you can type it all you want, but it's not going to happen unless somebody else says it, and so you typing it out multiple times is kind of I don't know, how did he put it, but anyway, impotent. He's like, it's like he said something about impotency, right?
Impotence. Okay.
And I'm thinking to myself, I was like, boy, he'd just be embarrassed if I freaking whipped it out and freaking gave his ass a mushroom stamp.
Yeah.
But anyway, but he said a couple of other things too, and I wasn't having the best day. So when I got on there, dude, it's like it's like the dude with the in the platoon, the army platoon with the flamethrower.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was just like, I'm like, just Matt Jarbo, you blankety blank, and whatever and stuff, and they're like, yeah, I don't even think he's in the back room anymore, and I'm like, well, shit, but yeah, well, he was there, and Mad Max was there, and I told him that he was a douchebag and stuff, and because it's like doing what he does, it's like you're a douchebag, when you pretty much all you do is like talk shit about people and you do it behind a mask, it's not like Doomcock, Hail Lord Doomcock. It's not like Doomcock, who actually sounds, intelligent and stuff when he speaks. But it's Doomcock, being, having his mask and all that is more of a, at least my way of thinking, it's more of a shtick, than it is him trying to hide from people actually knowing what he looks like. Although I know there is also, there's also some people that, work in the entertainment industry or whatever, and so they either have a mask, like Doomcock, or they just always have their avatar up like we do now, because they could risk, if they actually put their face out there, they could risk their job, and people got to eat. So, but
well,
yeah,
sure. And people have to realize, like, the fourth wave, especially, like, we were born in the chats of the original big channels. I remember seeing back when you were Hallmark Channel, Jeremy, you were in the chat all the fucking time. Certain people, we were there and we decided that we could do this. But Doomcock, he has a shtick, and he is very intelligent, and he knows how to use imagery and atmosphere and music to bring on a certain feeling. And that sort of like Cobra Commander in the lair kind of, you're in the Technodrome kind of shit, that we can relate to that, because it's part of our entertainment shtick. So the way that he found to do that, I think is pretty clever and worth doing. Versus people who just want to go and like run their mouth or do the Sam Kinison behind a Dr. Doom mask, And I never paid attention to Jarbo. He has more subs than I do, so he must be doing something right. But I am perfectly happy with 240 savages at the moment.
Well, it's just, I mean, I don't know. I think on that what is it, three buck theater or whatever channel he has.
Right.
He's on. The last time I saw it, there was only like 37,000 people or 37,000 subscribers, and from what I know, this guy is like trying to do it for a living. So it's like, I don't know. I think I think he's one of the people here on YouTube that is a little bit more self-important, than he's a legend in his own mind.
Well, yeah, and you can tell right away the people who care about the issues and the state of entertainment versus the people who care about their own logo and just shit like that. So that's one of the blessings of having a smaller channel, is that you can look at what the big guys do good and what they don't do so good, and then just kind of course correct as you're going. So
but I mean, and which I'm just, it's not like I'm trying to shit talk or anything. I mean, it's if the people that I was just mentioning were actually here on this stream right now, I'd say the exact same thing to them. So,
well, so there you go, Jarbo. If you're listening, go ahead and let me know in the chat. I will shoot you a link. In the meantime, though, we have this interesting story. So we were talking about Star Trek, Lower Decks, and all this kind of stuff. But Patrick Stewart, Jean-Luc himself, is unhappy about returning for the season 2 of Picard.
That's because they made him an old fart that is guilty of everything, and yeah.
Well, yeah. So the same people who brought us Mikey Spock brought us this fake Patrick Stewart Jean-Luc, and we have to remember, folks, this is the 25% different Kelvin universe that Spock Prime created because of J.J. Abrams. So in my head, this is how I'm playing a headcanon so that this doesn't bother me too much. This is like an alternate universe. This isn't Jean-Luc that we know. It's not.
Did you actually see the whole season? Or I only saw. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
I only saw the very first episode of Picard because they were showing it for free on YouTube. That's the only reason I even saw that one. So,
well, again, I have ways to watch things that aren't necessarily subscribing to CBS Plus, but I'm going to assume that the people who are listening are familiar with the show, and if not, go ahead and shut this off, unfuck yourself, and then come back when you've watched it all, because spoilers ensue. But essentially, Picard, he's a broke down fucking white dude. They make him out to be an imperialist. It's his fault the Romulans can't do anything by themselves. AI is a big problem. Data, he's trying to help fix things, but he can't. And then at the end of the season, Picard himself is AI. So what the hell? It's you went from 25% different Picard to Ghost in a Shell Picard. And apparently that's part of the problem that he had, is that he didn't enjoy that particular here we go. Sir Patrick does not like the idea of being dead and now on a golem. This is one aspect of the series he did not sign off on. The writers are now scrambling to reconfigure the season into something with coherency, which is not something the show has a lot of. Yes. So, people who follow this kind of stuff, and if you follow the Fandom Menace, this isn't anything new. We know that they just unloaded a dump truck full of money and, appealed to his liberal sense, because Patrick Stewart, the actor, Sir Patrick, he is very liberal, and he's all about, social causes, but I don't think he really understood at the time that he signed his contract who he was signing a contract with and what it represented. I'm sure he yearned to play Jean-Luc once again, just as he yearned to play Professor X one last time. But they haven't really done anything to forward the story, and they're just
what they probably did is they probably fed him enough of the script to get him interested in taking the role, or signing on for the show. But he probably didn't know how it was going to turn out until it was too late. Because it's like once you sign the contract, you're in it. So
yeah. So we have the chat pretty much echoing the same thing. Random Brad watched 2 episodes. Tommy wouldn't watch it even if it was free. I wonder if they could pay Tommy to watch it. And then Random Brad, you're totally correct. Better content on YouTube, 100%. Yeah. And honestly, that's what I find myself gravitating towards. My favorite channels on YouTube, those are the people that I fucking care about. Really, the only things I've been watching lately, and I'm surprised that I appear to be so old at the moment. Have you been watching Perry Mason on HBO?
Well, I mean, I don't. The only thing I personally have is YouTube.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, if you
I had Disney Plus while The Mandalorian was on, but I don't even have that currently.
gotcha.
But I actually, when I was living, before I got my apartment, the building I was living in with all the other vets, right? The one of the guys liked, watching older shows like that, and so one of the television stations would play Perry Mason, every night at like, I don't know, 11 o'clock, midnight, something like that. So yeah, I caught quite a few episodes of Perry Mason.
Well, yeah. So, and that's even the old one, the HBO one. They swear he's like drunk half the time.
Oh, so they did
There's
like some sort of a reboot or something?
They did a remake. It has what's his name, Matthew Rizz. Yeah, it's
Never heard
worth
of him.
checking out. But like, well, he's been in a bunch of stuff you've probably seen and didn't realize it was him. That's pretty good. But I came across this article, and again, this is something Doomcock has covered, but I thought to give a twist on it myself. Mark Hamill is to return to Star Wars as a CGI Luke Skywalker, meaning, well, a new rumor indicates that Star Wars veteran Mark Hamill inked a deal with Disney and Lucasfilm that will allow the companies to produce films featuring a CGI version of Luke Skywalker. The rumor comes from Disney insider WDW Pro, probably one of those guys you were talking about, Shelley, that has a mask, and was posted to the WDW Magic forums as a part of a larger rumor regarding Disney's future plans with CGI technology being used in live-action films. So this is the sort of stuff we got at the end of Rogue One with Tarkin and Leia, and then in Rise of Skywalker with younger versions of Luke and Leia. So essentially what they're saying is that Mark Hamill has consented to have his face scanned and played with the deep fake sort of technology, and is okay with them using that to make him young Luke again in whatever they can cook up. Now, Doomcock's idea was that if they're doing that sort of thing, they don't need to hire human actors. They just get the actor to sign off on their image, and then they can write whatever script, make them say whatever they want to, have them emote however they want to. Whether or not it's good for the actor. So performance is not going to be necessary, just your face. And you've seen deep fake stuff, haven't you, Shelley?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there's a really silly one where they took Bill Hader and they had him doing like an Arnold Schwarzenegger sort of impression. And they morphed his face to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Except it was skinny Bill Hader's body, but like Arnold Schwarzenegger's face.
Or the ones where they've got George Lucas, talking about Star Wars, or there's another one where it's George Lucas and Harrison Ford, and they're talking about Star Wars. And I mean, it looks decent, but at the same time, you can definitely still tell that it's not them, and so, and if it's not any better than that, or like, God forbid, if it's, the quality of Princess Leia in Rogue One, the CGI
Right.
that they did for Princess Leia in Rogue One. I'm like, just animate it, okay? Just animate it. If it's got anything to do with the original Star Wars characters, when they were still of a younger age, like what we're looking at right now, just animate it, okay? Just animate it and have the actors do voiceover work for it, okay?
But I can't help but notice we have a Ninja Turtle thing in the corner there too.
Yeah.
They must be listening.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my deeper concern about all this was that if deep fake technology and photorealistic animation have gotten to the point where you're not going to be able to tell that it's not, you know, a lookalike, but it's actually digital Mark Hamill, recreating his Return of the Jedi era. How are we supposed to trust anything that we see on news media? Because they can make anybody do anything and change their face, or get like a really good impressionist to, you know, so they could have like a Trump out there clubbing baby seals, or they could have
well, you know, according to some people, he already is.
Yeah, according to some people. Or you know, they could have Joe Biden out there harassing young teenage girls.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh wait, he already does that too.
Yeah, and never mind. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you understand though,
they smell good.
As as the media is further weaponized, if you fail to toe the line, then you'll find yourself the star of something that might not necessarily even be true.
Right.
So,
yeah.
You know, that's
you know, as the saying goes, you know, the conspiracy theorist in me could totally buy you know, like a well, what was the name of that damn movie? Minority Report. You know, the Tom Cruise movie with the, you know, they predict, you know, they predict the future and they arrest you for a crime before you even commit it or whatever.
the thought police. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could see that coming down the pike, you know, but
sure. But just at instances where they can use photographic evidence in a damning manner. So, you know, you're at trial, they produce a videotape of you doing something that you didn't do, but they can make it look like you did do it, just with a couple of tweaks of you know, digital skeletons. It's pretty crazy, dude. Well, okay. You know, we still got 3 people watching. I know it's pretty late on the East Coast, so I appreciate you guys stopping by. Do what you have to do. Most people prefer to catch the show on the replay anyway. But I want to jump into this article, and actually, Shellback, you brought this to my attention just before the broadcast started here. It appears that Zack Snyder's 300 is intensely problematic. Yeah,
intensely. It remains intensely problematic.
Oh, it remains.
Yeah. So apparently it's been that way. Yeah.
It's been problematic, but it remains that way. Okay.
Yeah.
So while 300 is getting a 4K release, it's important to look back at the film and comic critically for the homophobic, racist, and ableist portrayals. Okay. So let's examine this. So Thermopylae in BC Greece is problematic. Okay, because they did not understand the 21st century's social justice politics. It was very toxically masculine. They didn't let anybody with deformities or mental problems or non-binary genders survive. They certainly didn't let them serve in their army, and they actually had the gall to repel a Middle Eastern occupier.
Mm-hmm.
So that is very problematic, Shelley. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, and like this article says a little bit further down, they make mention of how, all of the quote unquote good guys, the Spartans, right?
Mm-hmm.
How they're all white, and how all of the quote unquote bad guys are people of color, meaning, the Persians. So, yeah, I guess, it's, I guess, they, in BC times, they were being, racially stereotypical, I guess. I don't know.
Well, yeah, the author goes on to say that the shocking racism and pro-imperialism of 300 does not exist in a bubble, but it's irresponsible that the film refused to question or investigate the source material's problematic aspects in favor of focusing on capturing the comic's aesthetics. For instance, Snyder's Spartans are a society of white, able-bodied people fueled by aggression and violence, and they are praised as the unquestionable heroes. On the other hand, the villains are portrayed as a gender-fluid society that was visibly not white. Emphasis, not white. And the incarnation of evil and treachery.
Yeah.
Look at this.
How dare they portray modern day stereotypes? Yeah.
Yeah. And again, Tommy's raising a good point here. The problem he had with the comic and the movie is how far from reality it was removed. Yes, and in the same sense that Braveheart wasn't a historically accurate movie, neither was 300. But as a piece of entertainment or what have you,
well, they kind of were. They kind of were, but I mean, of course, they do put the extra flair in there, for Hollywood. So,
well,
but
sure.
I mean that both movies though are based in fact. I mean there really was the battle at Thermopylae, and where they 300 guys held off what, like 10,000 or more, and the way that they ended up being overcome, because there was a Greek, that told them how to basically sneak in the back door, and
sure.
All that stuff. I mean, both of those movies, this one and Braveheart, are true enough to be quote unquote factual.
I think that they were meant as pieces of entertainment to get you to investigate these historical happenings, like King Leonidas. And if you're at all a Second Amendment supporter, famously uttered the words "molon labe" when they said, drop your spears, and he said, "Come and get them, come and take them."
Yeah.
Things like that. But I think a lot of these critics have to examine the time frame, the historical place and time in which these things happened. So Gerard Butler's not Greek, but the people that they, that would portray these Greeks are going to look more European than they will anything else. And then Xerxes, he obviously didn't look like that. If you examine any like old parchments or carvings or anything, this is obviously Hollywoodized. But he would have been a Middle Eastern dude. So there's not going to be, Asian Greeks and Black Greeks and all this shit like you see in modern Hollywood stuff. So if you're going to decry a movie for depicting a historical time, then I don't think that you get the point of it. And if you gonna go ahead and do that, then why bitch about that? Why don't you just make your own shit that has all that in it? I'm not gonna watch it, but you're free to make it. We'll see what the marketplace says about your notions of who should be in a movie or not.
But I mean, it's a movie about the Persian, about the Persian Empire, attempting to expand its borders into Greece. So they were there to take over. Okay, they were there to take over. So,
well, and you got to realize a lot of warlords back then had a demigod complex, and even Alexander the Great, out of Greece, he said he was the son of Zeus or Ra, the sun god, or whatever the fuck you have.
Well, I mean, Ramses was, a quote unquote god king. That's
sure.
So, I mean, his subjects worshipped him, not only as a king, but as a god. So, yeah.
Well, and I just can't help but think like there's this element where so we have all these open borders in Europe where, there's all these poor Arab refugees that are fleeing from their homelands, but they're allowed to come in and act unscrupulously and rape and throw acid and toss homosexuals off of rooftops and shit like that. When clearly Xerxes' intent is to come and subjugate Sparta and Greece and Asia Minor, as much of the world as he could really, and they're just supposed to roll over, or because their population looked a certain way or didn't look a different way, their story deserves not to be told. That's pretty fucking ignorant, man. CBR.com is not my favorite source of entertainment, but Margaret Lockyer, that's who wrote this. And read the article. You guys decide how you feel about it. I think it's a big chunk of shit.
Well, I mean, from what I know or what I've been told, CBR is kind of garbage tier, to put it nicely.
Oh yeah, it's bought and paid for. It's an opinion rag, and a lot of these garbage tier sites, honestly, they float out a story to see what gets traction. It's market research, honestly. So if it gets downvoted, you'll never hear from it again, unless it's getting downvoted for the social justice agenda, and then we can all be bigots that are trying to oppress the free press, which is just a bunch of editorialized bullshit. It's no better than, at least you and I, Shelly, we'll go on record saying like we're assholes with a microphone. That's what we're doing.
Well, I mean,
but I'm not going to sit there and be like, I am the foremost source of edutainment.
I'm not gonna call myself an asshole, but I do have potential. So
okay. Shellback is an asshole in training. I think once you give him the Ren and Stimpy gifts, he'll be on board.
I'm part-time. I'm semi-pro. Okay. I'm a semi-pro asshole. There we go.
He's an amateur asshole.
Yeah.
He's more of an anus at this time.
Yeah. You're an anus.
Yes. I have a planet named after me.
Yeah.
Because NASA doesn't want to call it Uranus. It's planet asshole now. Yeah, we just heard.
Actually, I have actually heard people pronounce it Uranus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same. It's the same reason why news presenters say harassment. It's not
Yeah.
harassment because we don't want to talk about her ass, especially if it's being grabbed without her permission.
Well, I guess it all depends on whether you're speaking English or American English.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not harassment. It's like her fanniment in England. We'll have to ask our British listeners what the nomenclature is, the local vernacular. Well, I thought this was interesting here. We have like maybe 3 more stories, and then we'll get off your jock, guys. But Disney, and this came out like today. Disney just ended the 20th Century Fox brand, one of the most storied names in entertainment. And this is CNN Business, so this isn't like, dickhead.com.
But it's close.
It's pretty fucking close. Yeah. 20th Century Fox, one of the most recognized names in entertainment history, is officially no more. Disney announced on Monday it would be rebranding one of its TV studios, 20th Century Fox Television, as 20th Television. Okay. It's television number 20. The new name cuts both the Century and Fox from the studio's name. That's probably 25% different at least. The move follows Disney dropping the Fox name from its 20th Century Fox film brand in January. The company, which closed a $71 billion deal to acquire many of Fox's assets last year, renamed the long-standing studio as just 20th Century Studios. The well-known logo and title card, which has the words 20th I even want to say it, 20th Television stacked above spotlights, will stay the same, minus the excluded words. The new logo and graphics will appear on new episodes of 20th Television TV series starting this fall. Older titles, which have already aired before the rebrand, will maintain the former logo and name. Now, so blah, 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 but here is the old image, which let's not well, there's Thanos. I thought it was going to blow up the image. The Fandom Menace started for the most part as a reaction to injustices done under the Star Wars name, and the 20th Century Fox logo and even their flourish prior to the theme to the Star Wars, to me, was just as much part of the movie as the movie that we got, because for some reason, maybe it was the key that the Fox flourish was versus the key that the Star Wars theme was in. It's all like firmly branded in your head. You heard the drums, you saw this, it went black, and then you got a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Bing, ba-da-da-down, ba-da-da-down, What do you think, man?
I mean, even, like, you could get away with Fox or whatever, dropping Fox, which I don't know why I don't know. But because, the having Century in there gives it a little bit more of a, ring to it or whatever, but just 20th Television, it's like, 20th what? I don't know. It just, I don't know. It's stupid.
Right.
I mean,
it's like the 19 televisions before this one couldn't get it right, but the 20th one.
Right. I can understand them, dropping Fox, because they're like, well, we don't want to be associated in thought with with Fox Television or Fox News or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it makes no sense. I don't know. I'm like, hey, did you see that 20th television thing? The 20th what? You know, it's like I don't know.
Did you see that new 20th television program the other day?
Yeah.
It was very entertaining and thought provoking, and got me to rethink my toxic white masculinity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It's it's just stupid. I mean, the find something else to do. Okay, you're like not earning your paychecks right now, people.
I think Shellback, you're playing some interpretive marimbas there. Is that what that is?
What? I don't know.
That's Disney calling to say stop it.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Bob Chapek. Okay. That has nothing to do with the story. It's just trying to bug us. Okay.
Oh, talk about a bit of a scapegoat, huh? You know, it's like freaking Iger's like, I'm out. And you know, they put Chapstick in charge there, right?
Yeah.
And
Chapstick.
And then, you know, when things, you know, start to go downhill, well, they were already starting to go downhill, but when things reach a certain point, Iger's like, hey, I'm back. You know, it's all good now. You know, and it's like,
you guys like us again? Hey, I'm back.
You know, well, you could totally see how Iger was like, you know, he was stepping away because he saw some shit rolling downhill or uphill or whatever. You know, he saw some shit coming, right? And he's like, well, I don't want to be around for that, so I'm going to say that I'm, you know, retiring or stepping down. And yeah, it's like, you know, hey, Chapstick, come here. I need you to stand in for me for a little bit.
Right.
Okay?
Why don't you go ahead and stand right here? I'm going to fuck off.
I need you to catch this pile of shit for me. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Don't move. Right here. Disney the Great Destroyer, says Tommy. I agree, my friends. You know, and it was just iconic, but I think that either they want to rebrand or they want to sweep these things under the rug. Like we're slowly approaching the point where Disney's going to be the only option. And it's like, what kind of Disney? Do you want Marvel Disney? Do you want Fox Disney? You know,
all restaurants are Taco Bell.
Yeah. You know, and it's a joke in the South, but they're like, what kind of Coke do you want? Do you want Pepsi Coke? Right. Do you want Sprite Coke? Do you want Dr. Pepper Coke? They just call everything Coke.
Yeah.
You know, except this is actually for real. All right. Two more things and then we'll let you go. We're going to switch gears to the DC universe. Many of you guys, if you've been paying attention to the Fourth Wave and the Phantom Menace, you probably saw this pop up a day or two ago. Thunder Woman. Okay, so artist Robin Eisenberg responds to criticism of DC Variants cover. Okay, so I'm assuming this is her taking a selfie. You know, and to me, it's like she drew a black version of herself. Except she made her like a little I don't know, fatter.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Wonder Woman looks a little bit thicker than
this bathroom
than the gal does. Yeah, is that supposed to be the artist?
That's what I am assuming. I don't understand why they would depict somebody else.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think the girl with the phone in her hand is you know, I think she's decent enough.
Well, she seems fairly normal as far as body types and that kind of stuff versus the character she drew. You know, looks I don't know, more
Well, I mean, and I've dated, or dated, been with, whatever terminology you want to use, with females that fit either description, and it's fine, It's not. I don't have issue, with dating a quote unquote, thicker, female, right? But that right there is not Wonder Woman, okay? In anywhere.
No, that's why I'm calling her Thunder Woman. She okay, since 19 fucking 30 whatever, Wonder Woman has been depicted as a blue-eyed Caucasian woman with jet black hair. And this one looks either African American or Afro-Cuban, something like that. And this is on purpose for diversity points.
Well, her skin tone actually has like a purplish tint to it. I mean, if you look at the skin and look at the words Wonder Woman, they're practically the same.
They're similar tints then, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I mean, it's like it's like a kind of like a shade of gray, like a grayish purple or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. But maybe she's from that planet that we were talking about earlier. That
right? Yeah.
we're going to be forced to adopt their name for the Eskimo Nebula because
right.
Yeah, Clack 27. I think that's what we named it, right? This cover was quickly ratioed in Twitter, with many fans responding to the post expressing their distaste and noting that the character looked nothing like Wonder Woman because she fucking doesn't. YouTuber That Star Wars Girl, Anna herself, very controversial figure in the Phantom Menace, loved by some, hated by many, wrote, "What the fuck? You don't know, among other things, Diana has blue eyes, not green, right? How the hell do you fuck up your own IP this bad?" Anna going for the fucking jugular like she always does. Well, did they respond to her, or are they just using a pull quote? And I wonder if Anna has read this Bounding Into Comics article and has she had a chance to rebut?
I might have seen a what do you call it? A notification or whatever for a video where she talked about it, but
okay. Well, I'm gonna have to dig for that.
I haven't seen it, but yeah, I think she might have said something about it.
We'll have to dig for that because it's funny. Like, I know the person who runs Bounding Into Comics is adjacent to the Phantom Menace. I don't think they'll call themselves that, but they tend to feel comfortable pulling quotes from people like the Star Wars Girl and Doomcock and Nerdrotic and folks like that. There we go with Raphael again. Look at that. Former DC Comics artist Mike Miller shared a GIF of Gal Gadot and wrote, "This is Wonder Woman. Veruca Salt up there isn't." Okay. Yeah. Stephen Wayne simply wrote, "That's not a superhero," with the face palm. Pseudonym, and again, these are people that they're getting more and more less famous, but Pseudonym added, "Looks like the gods revoked her beauty." And then Jack. So we got a lot of different people. But here we go. Eisenberg would respond to this criticism on Instagram. She wrote, "So I don't know how long to hold the O's when there's 5 of them. That's about what I did. Due to the subject matter of my art, I'm often asked to draw characters inspired by iconic women. Recently, I was asked to create a piece inspired by Wonder Woman in my own style for an upcoming one-off artist collab. She went on to detail that the character seen on the variant cover is not supposed to be Wonder Woman, but an alien character wearing a Wonder Woman t-shirt. Okay, that's what we got Tommy saying here. This is a alien Wonder Woman with purple skin. Okay, Clack27. I love drawing aliens with realistic body types. Living their lives comfortable with themselves. So I drew an alien character with a realistic body wearing more of an everyday version of the Wonder Woman outfit. Oh my God. So this paragraph right here contradicts itself like 10 times. Okay.
Well, and the thing is, it's just as much realistic for you to draw her with some damn boobs, okay?
Well, think about this.
Because I mean, when a gal's got that much going on below the waistline, a lot of them have something going on upstairs too. You know, it's.
well, and think about this. She to use SJW logic, she is assuming that aliens are all mammalian and all resemble Terran human beings, except this one has purple skin. What about the aliens who are reptilian or avian, who find mammary glands and vaginas disgusting? You know, that's not a very realistic body type, is it? And what if the aliens that if they happen to look human, what if they don't like Taco Bell or vegan patties and they're not even thick? What if they're all skinny? What if they look like Xerxes? You know, she's grasping for straws to defend this stuff. You know, this woman doesn't look alien to me at all. She looks like I don't know. I think I saw her shopping at the Dollar Tree the other day. I'm pretty sure. Right? Yeah. Tommy says apparently real women don't have boobs anymore. Shelly, stop being so toxic.
All right, so I'm gonna take us down. I'm gonna take us down memory lane for a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Remember when we were at freaking Emerald City Comic Con, right?
Oh yeah.
And we were scoping out all the Captain Marvel chicks.
Oh yeah.
And there was one that was built similar to this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we go back far enough, because that was last March. So if you guys care to go back down memory lane and click through months of videos to find our Emerald Comic-Con coverage, you'll be treated to several interpretations of Captain Marvel. Obi-Wan says, has the comic been released yet? This is a variant cover, yes, sir, of Wonder Woman 1984 #1 by DC. Whether or not you can find it in a comic book shop, I'm not sure. Because I thought I read somewhere that DC is trying to do more digital shit now. Tommy says he's not sure, Obi-Wan. If you end up finding the link, I'm sure that we can post it somewhere. But for me personally, I'm not going to buy a comic book that looks like this. Because if that's the best you can do with a cover, and usually the cover art is the best, and then you go inside and it's okay, but it's not the same as the cover. I don't want to buy this. There's nothing for me right here. It's Dollar Tree girl who has her Spirit Halloween costume for the top and then like some pair of pants on the bottom. And she's standing a line in front of me arguing about the price of Mr. Goodbar. and a Dr. Pepper with the lady, and I don't. Yeah, it's not for me, dude.
I actually saw something on Twitter where they were like, they were comparing Anna's Vampirella cover to this, and
Okay.
there was like some people were like, yeah, they both look like shit, and it's like, how in the hell? I'm like, me personally, I'm like, I'm sorry, how in the hell can you call freaking Anna's cover shit? I mean, that to me, it's like, that was a nice piece of art, and it
Well, that's the thing. If you want to,
and it represented it was, if it wasn't exact, it was pretty damn close to what the actual character is drawn like.
well, sure. And if you want to,
by its regular artist,
if you want to critique someone's like art style or the color choice or the proportions or the whatever on an artistic basis versus going after somebody just because you don't like them, that's one thing. And I think what we're talking about is that the character portrayed in this variant cover does not look like Wonder Woman, and this girl's coming back trying to use identity politics. As she continues, DC decided they wanted to use this piece for a variant cover in addition to the collab. I didn't realize that featuring a Wonder Woman inspired character with a realistic body type would be controversial. Apparently it is. The DC Nation posted their cover on Twitter, and it was immediately met with hundreds of comments hating on her body, as well as on the non-traditional art style, and on me personally. Smiley face, sunglasses version says,
okay.
She added.
Okay, she says realistic, right? Right there in black and white, she uses the word realistic.
Mm-hmm.
How is the traditional character of Wonder Woman not a realistic body type? How is the actual Wonder Woman character not realistic? It is totally realistic, okay? Because she is very athletic, okay? So that is your traditional athletic body, that Wonder Woman has. So I don't know. It's basically this gal's version of a realistic body is when you don't go to the gym ever.
Well, yeah, and realistically, if you sit around like a fat piece of shit, that's what's going to happen to you. Yeah.
Which I mean, I know that there's for future people that may watch this that are of a outrage culture, outrage mob member. I do realize that there are people in this world that will never, and I don't even like to say never, but they would have a very, very, very difficult time of attaining the shape of Wonder Woman. Okay, in the traditional Wonder Woman.
Sure.
Right. And in fact, there are athletes, there are female athletes that are shaped, they're shaped more like this one than the traditional Wonder Woman, i.e. Like collegiate softball players, track and field, shot put, because they do have female shot putters, and power lifters. They've got female power lifters. So, but that's what's the word I'm looking for? That coincides with the type of sport that they're doing. So, you know, it's, I don't know, but
Well,
this is, you know, when you say a realistic body type,
yeah,
the traditional image of Wonder Woman is totally realistic. I don't give a shit what she says. Sorry, I didn't mean to take over the stream.
No, it's okay, but it's almost in that sense where a lot of these SJW kind of comic artist people are hoping that if somebody who looks like this sees the cover of Wonder Woman and decides, oh, that person looks like me, I'm going to go ahead and buy this. They never do. They never do.
Right.
And if somebody, if I was in the comic shop and I saw this and it said Wonder Woman 1984, I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck happened to Wonder Woman in 1984, and I don't want to know. She can stay in 1984, and I'll read something else. You know, I'll go and get like one of the DC animated Justice League movies, which were fantastic, and she looks like Wonder Woman. So we got Mrs. Martin Muses in the chat. Hail, Martin Muses. Thanks for stopping by.
Hola, Teresa.
Yes, I appreciate everybody. Fresh new faces. We're here getting savage. We're not necessarily like hating on stuff, but you know, this person, this artist is hiding behind platitudes, trying to defend her work, saying, "Oh, it's supposed to be an alien. It's supposed to be, you know, those are her thoughts." And fittingly, at the end of this, we have a grilled cheese sandwich advertisement. Okay.
Right.
Thick Thunder Woman grilled cheese sandwiches. Oh, right.
I mean, she's got at least half a dozen of them in those jeans.
Jeez. Okay.
And like I said, I have no issue whatsoever with a thick chick, right? And in fact, I don't know about you, but I'd like, you know, my ladies to have some curves, you know. I mean, it's so.
Oh yeah,
you know,
no, I prefer them thick myself. My woman, she's a healthy, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, thick in all the right places, just grade A American. But
I mean, you know, if some, for lack of a better term, if some gym rat came up to me and told me that they wanted to go out on a date with me, I wouldn't turn them down because they don't have a realistic body type.
Well, right. And that's the thing. I think a lot of these people are hiding behind identity politics because they don't want to accept criticism for work that other people do not find appealing. You know, I look at that cover and I don't find it appealing. And if I were to express that, I'd get back in my face how I'm just a white dude, you know, with and why am I sexualizing cartoon characters and blah 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 blah.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, I just don't like the way that she looks, and I'm not going to buy your comic if that's how you're advertising it. You know,
right.
I'd go and spend money on, you know, something else, Vampirella. You know, clearly my dog is upset. He's been complaining about all this stuff. So yeah, we got one more story from the DC universe, and then we'll jump off your jocks. Been going about an hour 39, so this will be a good way to wind it down. The juiciest rumor about the Zack Snyder Justice League cut: could Ryan Reynolds show up as the Green Lantern? Oh my god! So, did you see the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern, Shelley?
I did.
Okay. How long did it take you to stop crying?
I didn't. I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't say the same myself. I probably enjoyed it about as much as I enjoyed the portrayal of Deadpool and Wolverine Origins.
Oh no, I wouldn't say that. I would not say that.
It wasn't quite that bad for you, but
No,
it was bad enough that in Deadpool 2, Deadpool used time travel to go back and stop both characters from happening in that universe. So clearly he had some reservations with how his characters were portrayed. But what do you think Zack Snyder would do differently with that character?
man, I don't know. I mean, you you ask certain people, like if they're not Zack Snyder fans, then they'd be like, oh, he's gonna ruin him, blah blah this and that, and it's um, say, like the Man of Steel, right? I liked the Man of Steel, and there was parts of it that I was like, why? When Kevin Costner, basically stopped Clark, or stopped Henry Cavill, from saving him, like from the tornado, because I don't know, I don't know why you would want if your son was an alien with super strength, I don't know why you wouldn't want him to use it, especially if it's for something good, but other than that, I really like the movie, and especially at the end, when Zod, when Zod is like laser beaming everything in sight, right? And he's telling him to stop, and he won't stop. So he snaps his damn neck, and kills him. And I was like, dude, I was cheering that on like no other. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm like, snap his damn neck, But you've got those people out there that are like, oh, Superman would never do that, and blah blah this and that, So Zack Snyder doesn't know crap, and it's like, well, you go back to the the Christopher Reeve movies, and he didn't snap his neck, but he did throw him down a freaking bottomless pit or whatever. So it's I don't know. Dude, I mean, I would have to say that I'm a Zack Snyder fan because he was, he did one of my favorite movies of all time, which we talked about earlier, which 300. So
300.
Yeah.
Damn good movie. Yeah. Well, and again, my guideline would be the DC Justice League animated movies. There are probably 8 or 10 of them, and they are great movies, even though they're animated. So if they can capture some of that type of storytelling in a live action sense, but see the problem with a lot of these, and I think that this is why releasing the Snyder Cut as a 5-part HBO whatever is a good idea, is that they try to pump too much shit into 2 hours, to the point where you're getting and that's my problem with some of the sequel movies of like Batman and Spider-Man, is that they're trying to put 3 or 4 villains into one movie, and they don't belong there. Each villain should have their own movie or team up with maybe one other villain. um, you know, there's too much bang for your buck, and that's all they care about. When storytelling is at the detriment of money, that's when we start to see problems like this. So if the Green Lantern would be in the Snyder cut, hopefully they're using him tastefully, and it's not a debacle. It's always been hard for me to sort of swallow the Green Lantern in a because his ring
he's one of my favorite characters, man.
Well, his ring can do anything, but he does goobery stuff like turn it into a giant baseball mitt when he could make like 1,000 rooms and you can't get out of it. Just stuff like that. I guess I would think of different things to do with that ring than the Green Lantern typically gets to do. And especially like if he flies off and talks to intelligences from different planets all across the universe, you would think his thinking would be broadened past, human baseball or a locomotive or a backhoe or a bulldozer or whatever. So I would like to see him do stuff like that. But as far as being like a smart ass, that kind of thing, I think Ryan Reynolds has that potential, and that's why Deadpool works so well. But I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens on HBO, man. I'm excited for it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm not always cynical. I'm pretty savage, but like that's something that I can get down with.
Yeah, no, man. I mean, see, that's the thing is like, if they would have just put things on hold, and let Zach, deal with what happened with his daughter and stuff, and then let him come back and finish the movie, that he started, it would have been a lot better, I mean, but hey, look, I guess we're finally gonna get it, but I mean, what is it, BVS or whatever, and that, because people are like, oh, Zack Snyder sucks because of this movie and this movie, and it's like, but you're like, yeah, but they, he had like an idea or whatever for what, like 5 movies,
Yeah,
and he only got to make like a couple of them, and so it's like there's like 3 movies or whatever out there that he didn't get to make, that would make everything else make sense or whatever. I don't know.
Bring context. Yeah. And I think he probably had that potential to do that sort of universe building that propelled Marvel so far.
Yeah.
But that DC, for whatever reason, hasn't been able to get off the ground.
But I mean, and another thing where DC messed up was they jumped to Justice League too damn quick, right?
Without fleshing out the members. Yeah.
It's like if we would have gotten Infinity War after, say, Iron Man 2.
Right. It's like, wait a sec. Where did all these other people come from? I can't even pronounce Wakanda.
Yeah.
Well, that's some interesting stuff, Shelley. Tommy, if you could go ahead and put up Shellback's info. I want to thank you for coming on, man. You've been a longtime friend and fellow fandom menacer since the beginning. I take it that most of the people listening know who Shellback is, but In case you don't, he's stand-up dude, really informative channel, U.S. Navy veteran. So he stuck his fucking neck out for you. You might as well click on his channel and sub and like and get him monetized. God damn it!
Yeah, I do make stuff from time to time, which I am wanting to get more consistent than I have been in the history of the channel. But I've had real life to deal with as well. So that's a big part of why of my sporadic nature of the content. As far as time wise, anyway. But yeah, I mean, I've got my last couple of videos. Would you'd be able to watch those in about 10 minutes time. So they
right
the last two videos I do have, one of them is talking about author Stephen Walton's book, The Fandom Menace, a volume
Fandom
1
Betrayed.
Yes. And I actually only talk about chapter 1, and I plan on doing a video for each and every chapter. So there are at least 3 or 4 more videos to come in relationship to that book. Actually, no, well, more than that. But anyway, and my latest video is about 3 minutes or so, and I'm talking about Gina Carano and her and the fact that she refuses to bend a knee to the outrage mob on Twitter. So
yeah, that's another one that just came out. Just at least an hour or so before the showtime starts. So I hope that you end up covering that for your channel. I'd encourage everybody to go and check out Shellback. Really good dude, and he's just another one of these guys like us. We're under 1,000 subs, but we're pumping out good shit as much as we can. So check out Shelly. I want to say hail to the chat one more time. The 5 of you guys that stuck around, you are some brutal savages. And whether you're listening to this now or later on at work or what have you, we appreciate you coming out, and we will talk to you